I just realized I missed out on the opportunity to show off some of the flying-type Pokémon, because they would have been resistant to fighting too. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, welcome back for more of Let's Play the Pokémon Trading Card Game. Last time, we beat the Fighting Club, and today, we'll be moving on to the last remaining club, the Psychic Club. There's a guy besides the receptionist out here. Interesting. Psychic types are indeed incredibly strong, and remember, this is Generation 1, where Psychic types were ridiculously strong. I'll just let that picture sink in for a while. So I believe this guy has a deck that... Do I really have nothing but Diglett? I only have 3 Diglett in this deck. 2 of them are in my hand. None of which are supported by the fact that I don't have it. You have grass Pokemon here too. This is awful. Get that thing away from me, please. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. So he is supposed to have ghost types. I guess he likes Zubat. The thing is, I'm pretty sure Zubat is resistant to fighting, so there's really no point in me even trying to attack this stupid thing. Why? Why? Why did I draw 2 of the only 3 Diglett I have in this deck? The Diglett are the only thing that I have in here that are fighting type. And I was just lucky enough to draw them. With no Psychic types, no other Pokemon, and only 1 fighting energy, which can't do anything because he had... Why is every single first battle in every video I do completely stupid? Why does this happen? Why does every fight I open up with have to be this stupid? I'm not even going to bother trying to do anything with this Diglett. And I get both my Wigglytuff. You have to be kidding! Game, come on, throw me a bone here! I know I took Cubone out of this at the last minute, but throw me a bone, come on! So yeah, he has the Haunters in here too. I'm not even going to risk doing damage to myself. Let's get Jigglypuff. Actually, let me check. Because you are the one I think you are. Okay, let's take a risk. See if we are actually successful. We are. Let's do Friendship Song. Please? Thank you. I'll take it. So Jigglypuff is one of those Game Boy exclusive ones that contributes some sort of randomness that you wouldn't be able to do in the regular game. In particular, Friendship Song, if you flip a heads, it allows you to put in a basic Pokemon at random from your deck onto your bench, which is where Abra came from. Luckily enough. Or unluckily enough, you know, whatever. So Wigglytuff also has a particularly interesting attack called Do the Wave, which does more damage based on how many Pokemon you have on the bench. So I guess we'll do that. I guess there's no reason for me not to... I mean, I could evolve it, but I don't want to. Let's do another Friendship Song. Bring somebody else onto the bench, so that way it fully powers up Wigglytuff's Do the Wave attack. So you evolved it, and then you retreated it out? Okay. I was hoping you would be able to confuse me so I could show you the confusion would go away when I evolved, but I guess that wasn't going to happen. So let's get you going. I guess we'll evolve the other one, because why not? And... You know, let's get rid of the Golbat. I don't like you, Golbat. That's 10 damage plus 10 damage for each Pokemon on the bench. So that's why Friendship Song is also really helpful to set up with. because it allows you to bring Pokemon from your deck onto your bench without having to draw them. Super, super handy. So Wigglytuff is one of those Pokemon that is incredibly useful to have, and it's one that I've never really made good use of myself. So let's get rid of that double colorless on your Ditto, because I don't like it. Get the other Wigglytuff ready to go, I guess, just in case. I'm surprised you haven't brought in the Haunter. I guess he doesn't want to, because he knows he won't be able to do damage. Which is a bit weird, because that's probably the one thing that would have put off the end of this fight. Sorry, Robert. So who else is in here? I don't know, I haven't had an issue with not being able to play after losing. Yeah, I mean, not in the actual Let's Play yet, but I did defeat him eventually. And for that, we get the promotional Mewtwo card! For not having beaten Mewtwo. Why did I say Mewtwo? Well, we didn't beat Mewtwo either. But there's the good Mewtwo! Now this thing's really handy in that for only one energy you can absorb 2 energy cards from the pile, or your discard pile, and then immediately use Cyburn on the next turn. Super, super handy to have. Kinda wish I had it sooner. So there are 2 more in here. Murray is a bit of a jerk in that he won't even entertain a battle with you unless you have a certain number of medals. I forget if it's 4 or 6. But he's no pushover himself, so it's kind of understandable. I think he's the only one that has a specific medal number requirement, although I seem to think that Mitch may have as well. It's either that, or Mitch won't fight you until you have a certain number of cards. I don't know. There are a couple of club leaders that have that, but for the most part you can fight them in any order you want. And again, I start off with nothing but a Diglett. Diglett is the only fighting type I have in this deck. I only have 3 of them. And both games that we've started have only had a Diglett to go... That's why I have Professor Oak. It's a pain to discard some of those cards, but sometimes you just have to. So Snorlax, as you can imagine, is a bit of a fat jerk who just sits there and doesn't do anything. I mean, there are some things he can do, but not all that much. I think he's the only one as of this game that has a retreat cost of 4 energy cards. He has a Pokemon power that doesn't allow him to become inflicted with a status ailment unless he's already inflicted with a status ailment. You figure that one out. So she's also got a Drowsy and a Mew, which we haven't seen. Mew cards are actually available in this game. Forget if this is the only one or if there's another one in addition to it. But it has a really strange attack in that you can de-evolve one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if its prior evolution has less health than it has damage counters on it, because you remember higher evolutions can have more health, this can be used to get a knockout. It's a really intriguing attack. Let's hope she doesn't have a scoop up to get rid of this thing. No, she doesn't. Okay, so we can, assuming we get a fighting energy, which we didn't. Dugtrio, well, I guess I could put a psychic energy on you and then just evolve you, because I'm afraid that this thing will get knocked out by whatever he brings in next. She brings in next. I keep making that mistake. Yeah, because I have the strangest feeling that this thing is resistant to fighting. Not all of the psychic types are. In fact, this one isn't either. And she knew I didn't have a fighting energy. Let's get that out of here. What is my retreat cost? 2. That's unfortunate. You know what? Let's do that then. I had a feeling you were going to do that. See how annoying it is to have energy removal? That's exactly what we've been doing to the opponents. Ghastly! We have another one. I don't know if I want to hang on to this or not. Because all this is predicated on getting a Wigglytuff, which we're probably not going to get. Anything on the bench worth fighting? Not really. So I believe Expand reduces the damage that you take on the next turn by 10. Something like that. So it could potentially be useful. Double check that. Yeah, their damage is reduced by 10. So it'd be really nice if we could draw a Wigglytuff, otherwise this game might take a little bit longer than it needs to. Or we could, I guess I could start powering up Dugtrio, but it's not going to be able to do much. It's the only fighting type I have, so might as well. Not looking forward to facing that Hypno. At least not without something else to hit it with. One thing I do really like is Stephanie's profile. I keep calling it a profile picture. It's not really a sprite, but I love that picture. It just looks so dark and menacing. So, Mr. Mime has a very interesting Pokemon power, in that you are not allowed to damage it with any attack that does 30 or more damage. Even though it only has 40 health, any and every attack that does more than 20 damage is completely negated. The other effects will still happen, though. So let's get... You know what, let's get Haunter in here. I kind of wanted to show off Wigglytuff, but it's more important to make sure that these things go down. So since Nightmare does exactly 20 damage, it's the most damage we can get on Mr. Mime at a given point. That means Mr. Mime's dead. But if you don't have weak attacks, and you're only going for high damage output, that Mr. Mime can be incredibly annoying. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about it. And we have 2 Gust of Winds. I don't need either one. At least not yet. But Psychic types are probably the most interesting of any of the cards, and you're gonna knock out my aggro, aren't you? Well, damn. See, I could bring in Wigglytuff, but I don't have the energy to attack with it. And I don't have the energy to attack with Gengar either. That's a shame. You have anything in... You do have the Mew. Okay, let's get that Mew in here. I'm not sure if it would have been the smarter decision to go for the sleep and hope that Hypno doesn't hit him. But at least we negated the damage that was done to Haunter. But you can see Transparency only affects the damage done to Haunter, not the damage done to the other Pokemon. So it doesn't negate his attack entirely. Unfortunately, this won't do enough damage so that we can knock him out with Wigglytuff. We'll need to get one more hit on him. And then we can go for the kill with Do the Wave. Because I think we have 4 Pokemon on our bench. Yeah, we do. I never brought attention to it. The little squares above the menu, above the retreat here, the one that looks like a Pikachu indicates how many Pokemon you have on your bench, and the one with the Pokeball indicates how many prize cards you have left. There's another one in the top left that shows you what your opponent's field looks like. I don't know why I never brought attention to that. Probably should have. But that's what I've been going on without having to actually check or remember. Sorry if that was a bit confusing. I can't believe it took me this long to even mention it. I guess I figured everything else in the game was self-explanatory. So if we have... yeah, we do have enough on our bench, so we'll just go to Wigglytuff, do the wave. So you can see, Psychic types are no laughing matter, even in the card game. With how overpowered they were in Generation 1, that definitely carried over here. There's somebody who looks happy to see us, except it looks like he's looking in the opposite direction away from us. But that's okay, Daniel. I'll excuse it. I'm more tempted to go with Jigglypuff. I don't want to put down both Diglets. They both only have 30 health. You have a Jigglypuff too! If you put me to sleep, I'm going to be very annoyed. Please wake up. So let's see about stocking up that bench. I guess we only have 2 fighting energy for the Diglett, though. You know what? If you're going to be using Jigglypuff, I should not have done that. I have no idea what I was thinking. I guess I thought I had free retreat when I actually don't. Oh, that was brilliant of me. I'm an idiot. Let's try that again. Oh, you have Haunters too? Come on now. Haunters are my thing, you're not allowed. Son of a gun. Alright, so we have an Abra and a Diglett. I'd rather not put either one of them down. And that thing would still knock out the Diglett in one hit. I'm not sure if I want to power it up all the way. Decisions. Guess I can make sure Abra's ready to go, but you don't have anything that's weak to Psychic on you, do you? Not even the Haunter's weak to Psychic. You know what, let's do that then. I'm afraid if he gets another energy, I still don't think he'd be able to knock us out yet with Do the Wave. He still needs one more. We do get a Psychic Energy here. We have 2 in our hand. Not in any hurry to set those down. If I send in Diglett, it could do 60 damage, but if he gets another energy, he could knock the Diglett out. Let's do Expand. Because if we can do that 2 turns, get enough damage on it that a Mud Slap can knock it out, I'd be comfortable bringing it in. So let's get you down. So now, assuming nothing strange happens to knock out the Diglett, we should be able to take out Wigglytuff on the next turn. Unfortunately, it will be quickly revenge kill, but there's not much we can do about it. Nice to have that Wigglytuff out of the way. At least I assume, yeah, we're weak to grass. We're probably not going to survive, unless you do Hypnosis. Okay. I guess I can switch out, go to Ghastly. I think you have free retreat. I swear I saw that before. Yeah, you do. Everyone has free retreat. It's great! We have very similar decks. So now I guess I'm just waiting on an evolution card to come into play. I mean, we have Alakazam, but there's not much we can do with it. Just waiting for a Haunter, Kadabra, or even a Dugtrio, although I don't think we'd have the energy for it. I'd still probably evolve it just in case, because it only has 30 health. Never seems to happen, though, does it? Getting a lot of paralysis, though. It's nice to have that happen for me for a change, as opposed to against me. Just another Ghastly, really? Be really nice to actually, you know, do damage. Make the game go a little bit faster. I mean, I know I promised a 45-minute video last time. I wasn't hoping for one. And I know the way that these games have been playing out isn't necessarily helping. So she's got a... And that's what I was afraid. Oh, son of a... Why do you have a plus power in that deck? That's so random. Well, I guess now... Oh no, we don't have that Jigglypuff anymore, do we? Or I might be thinking of another game entirely. I wish we had that Jigglypuff. That would have been so nice. I don't want to put anything else on the bench, really. Put the Ghastly down. So at least that thing's asleep. So it's Haunter on Haunter action, ladies and gentlemen! The sleep and transparency is real. But the important thing here is that transparency does not work if you're asleep. So no matter what attack I do on the next turn, it is guaranteed to go through. Unfortunately, I can't do anything that would do more than 10 damage, so I can't take advantage of the fact that transparency will not work. Which is rather sad. That's just the way it goes sometimes. That's really the best opportunity you have to get through to Haunter. Status it so its transparency doesn't work, and then strike when it's vulnerable. Please give me something I can use to hit this thing. Well, it's better than nothing. At least that prevents it from trying to put me to sleep. So now it's only fair for the same thing to happen to me, right? Well, at least we're awake, so that helps. And still get nothing to actually hit this thing with. Really? Not... Oy, here... What a joke. This match. Finally someone's doing something. So at least now I can switch out to Diglett and actually get a knockout or something. That'd be nice. Did you forget I have this thing? Because I didn't forget. Thanks for the kill. Now, if this thing is not asleep after this coin flip, we may have it. Unfortunately not. Because that Gust of Wind would have really, really helped. But there's not much we can do when we're asleep. I'm not sure if there's anything else we can knock out in one turn if we don't wake up here. Okay, good, I think we're fine. If he put down a Jigglypuff, he did not. Maybe Paris would be the best bet. I suppose we could. Let's get that Paris in here. Unless he switches that thing out, I think we're okay. Yeah, he has no idea what he's doing, we're fine. That took long enough. And if you thought these duels were long, there's a reason why I saved this club for last. Say hello to Murray. This guy is no pushover. And I guess his deck will speak for itself. Hopefully, that may have been the worst thing we could have possibly drawn into at the start. If he has what I think he does. And he does. So, Murray loves stalling. I'm not even going to take a chance with all those energy I drew. I'm going to give me something else. Bill, help me out, Bill! Bill, why? At least we have a Kadabra. So this thing, you may remember Chansey. You may also remember Snorlax. Although he is the Psychic leader, he has two of the most bulky Pokemon in the game, and he has the card that allows him to scoop them up. On top of that, since his deck is based on the Abra family, he has Alakazam, which allows him to move damage counters around between his Pokemon. So he's allowed to move damage counters off of his Pokemon onto his Chansey or onto his Snorlax, and then scoop them up, removing all the damage counters from the field. Which is incredibly annoying. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of that. And as a result, matches against Murray take a ridiculously long time. Because all he does is stall, and stall, and stall, and stall, and stall. Which is why a lot of guides will tell you it's generally a decent idea just to let Murray draw his own deck dry. I know you have that. See, I could evolve it into Alakazam. The problem is the only damage I'd be doing is with Confuse Ray, and he's not attacking. Now the issue is, in order for me to even feel like I have a chance, I already played Professor Oak and a Bill, so I am 9 or 10 cards thinner in my deck than he is. Do you have anything in there that would... You know what? Screw your Kadabra. I ain't letting you build that thing up. I know what it does. And I am not even taking a chance with it. Get that thing out of here. I just described how that thing is going to utterly destroy me. I'm not allowing it to happen. So we still haven't drawn anything besides this Kadabra. Once we put enough damage on this thing, he's probably going to scoop it up to remove the damage counters. So now that he is using Scrunch, I don't think you added anything that was weak to Psychic. No, you didn't. I'd really like to be able to do something. He's just going to scoop it up, put it back down, and all the time that I've spent trying to hurt this thing will be for naught. Still haven't drawn any other basics. I can't believe it. I've gone through half my deck. Where's the scoop up? Come on, scoop up. No scoop up. Oh, you finally got a successful Scrunch in. There's a basic. See, the thing is, I don't want to bring in anything else. I want to get the knockout on this thing. I think Scrunch reduces damage by 20? Or no damage. Prevent all damage. I mean, I could try to confuse it, but if I do that, then I lose out on the assured 20 damage with the Alakazam. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Because you see, the thing about this game, the way it's constructed, all of the entire chain of coin flips is predetermined when you enter into the battle. And I've messed with this with save states in the past. If you see somebody get 2 or 3 heads in a row, it doesn't matter who in the game would have used the coin flip. Like, if he gets 3 heads, then those would have been 3 heads I would have gotten if I had gotten coin flips. All of them are predetermined. It's really irritating that way. Alright, if you're doing that, then let's get... You know what, let's get that Gengar going. So we can move damage counters around ourselves. I don't think... Gust of Wind for that Chansey to come back in. Let's get that knockout. Yeah, let's get that knockout. So the coin flips aren't necessarily random, but they are predetermined. Of course, in real life, it doesn't always work that way, but that's the way it works in the game. So if you're thinking of getting around its rules like that, it ain't gonna work. So let's get that off. Let's get... I mean, Doug Trio... You know what, Doug Trio? As soon as I can get that thing... I don't think you did get the Scrunch up. Well, I'm doing it anyway, just in case you didn't. I thought you did. So we're probably going to have to end this match soon. Maybe not soon, but we are drawing ourselves thin. And I don't think he's going to help us out in that regard. You have a retreat cost of... Oh, that's annoying. I'd like to put Doug Trio. Are you worth playing? An Earthquake does 10 damage to each of my own. I do want that damage. Let's get you in there. Let's get Alakazam up now that you don't have any energy left. Let's actually get some damage going. So you can see he switched into Mr. Mime because he knew we wouldn't be able to attack him, because if you remember, Mr. Mime disregards any attacks that do more than 20 damage at a time. So what we can do is we'll use Gengar's Pokemon power. We'll start moving damage counters onto Mr. Mime. I'll just demonstrate this. Because Slash would do 40 damage, Mr. Mime doesn't receive any damage from it because it can't be hit by any attacks that do more than 10 damage. Or, more than 20 damage, excuse me. So let's... How about we do... How many do you need? 2 to retreat? Oh, I don't want to discard all those cards. So let's get 1 more to you. Now, I think Meditate's going to do 20 because we have 1 damage counter on us already. I'm not sure at what point it would be worthwhile to retreat. You know what? I don't want to risk getting any more damage. Let's go to Jigglypuff. And how about... I don't think I have an Abra on the bench, no. Let's try... I should have moved an energy! I wasn't thinking! Not an energy, damage counter. I forget if I did that already. Okay, let's do that. And I guess while I have damage swap, I can do this too. I don't know why I didn't think about doing that. Probably could have. So at least this will give me the opportunity to get more Pokemon that would be less annoying to kill. Or less likely to be killed easily, I suppose. So let's knock out that Mr. Mime. Get another Doug Trio. You bring in the Chansey, which is beautiful, because I have Doug Trio that can do exactly 80 damage and knock you out too. Now all you have left is that Snorlax, and if I get one more Fighting Energy, but I don't think... Do I even have another Fighting Energy in this deck? That works. I'll take 10 damage on everybody, I don't care. I want that knockout. More badly than... Wow, this match went a lot easier than I expected it to. All because he couldn't get any scoop-ups going, and he couldn't get his Alakazam going, because we knocked out his Kadabra before he could evolve it. So it wasn't quite 45 minutes, but it was a pretty lengthy video. I don't know if I even have a... Do I have a Venomoth? I lose track of what I have and don't have in this file. So I guess we can check to see what cards we actually have. Actually, yeah, we can go check on the PC. It tells us, based on the booster packs we have. So you can see Colosseum. We're missing... Persian? Really? That's surprising. I think we have everything in the evolution, because I grinded evolution boosters for a while. I don't have a Hypno, which also surprises me. I think we have a full laboratory. Yeah, so we're just missing a couple of cards from the booster packs, and we're missing a bunch of promo cards. I may or may not show off how we get those, but I will eventually. Regardless, now we've beaten all of the Club Masters, meaning we have all 8 of the Master Medals. What does that mean? We'll be able to challenge the Elite Four of this game in the Pokémon Dome next time. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you then.